Hampton School is proud to support International Women's Day, and we're taking this opportunity to celebrate just some of the women that have had an impact on our lives.
I want to celebrate Anne Frank because she never took things for granted. Even in times of hardship, she stayed positive, giving each of her family members a present during Hanukkah, even with the lurking presence of the Nazi soldiers.
And I've chosen my mum, who's been a real inspiration this last year during the pandemic, when everyone's been finding things extremely difficult.
I spent my life encouraging people to give money to good causes, people to support philanthropic activities. The person who stands head and shoulders above everybody else in the world is Melinda Gates. Over the years, Melinda Gates has invested billions of pounds into the fields of medical and scientific research, environmental activity, education equality and social justice initiatives.
Someone that I look up to is the American gymnast Simone Biles. Not only is she a brilliant athlete, winning multiple medals at the Olympic Games, but also she puts her mental health before anything. I think this is a lesson that everyone can learn.
I have chosen Emma Raducanu. She has won her first Grand Slam at the age of 18. I have chosen her because I'm a tennis player myself and I see her as a very great role model to aspire to.
I would like to celebrate J.K. Rowling, who, as many of you will know, wrote the renowned Harry Potter series. J.K. Rowling really inspired me to read more and gave me the imagination and creativity needed to develop my writing.
I'm recognising my nan, Audrey Joyce Weekly. It was her love of baking and her amazing apple pies that inspired me to choose a career in catering. She was incredibly selfless and helpful, and her joy for cooking for people has inspired me still 28 years into being a chef.
A woman who particularly inspires me is the biochemist Marianne Daly. She was an African American leading research into DNA structure and protein synthesis. She did all this in the 1940s, which was a particularly difficult time for ethnic minorities and women, and she can be a huge inspiration to all of us in academia nowadays.
I've had the privilege of meeting numerous inspiring women in my life, from Olympic medalists to directors of UBS, inspectors in the Met Police and a director of Sport England. Maggie Alphonsi, rugby world champion and 7 times winner of Six Nations, is now a regular member of the commentary team of major tournaments such as the Lions and the World Championships. She is building on the successful efforts of household female commentators such as Claire Balding, Sue Barker and Gabby Logan. Despite being one of the most successful rugby players the country's ever seen, she has continued to receive numerous racist and sexist slurs through social media channels, just proving despite how far we have come, there is still a way to go.
Someone who I admire is the violinist Nicola Benedetti. She is a famous musician who came to prominence by winning the BBC Young Musician of the Year, and from that she runs many masterclasses and sessions for anyone of any ability, age or background. She also helped to nurture the love of music.
I would like to talk to you about the work of Nettie Stevens, an American geneticist. Nettie was born in 1861, at a time when professional opportunities for women weren't readily available. So it was only when she got to age 39 that she started her career as a research scientist. After or through 11 staggering years of research, she discovered that X chromosomes were found in female cells, but Y chromosomes were only found in male cells. The enormity of this work wasn't credited to Nettie during her lifetime, and it's only long since her death in 1912 that she is fully credited for the discovery of this. Nettie is definitely somebody worth celebrating.
The woman I am choosing to celebrate for International Women's Day is Hedy Lamarr. She was an Austrian-American actor. Not only did she thrive in Hollywood, but she formed the basis for the technology that created GPS and Wi-Fi.
In light of recent world events, I was reminded of the incredible figure of Sophie Scholl, who was a student at the University of Munich in the Second World War. Together with her brother Hans, she became a member of the newly formed White Rose Resistance Group with a very strong anti-war message, anti-Nazi message. And on one occasion in February 1943, when she was delivering leaflets to classrooms, she realised there were a lot left, and she in the moment chucked them over the balcony of the top floor of the atrium at the university, and she was spotted, and her and her brother's names were given to the Gestapo. When they were questioned, she was initially thought to be innocent, but claimed full responsibility for the actions of the group to protect the other members, and she was executed at the age of 21. For me, as a teacher working with pupils who are only a few years younger than that, for me it's a reminder that courage has no lower age limit, and that we should all find her story a source of strength.
I've chosen to celebrate Serena Williams. Now 40, she's a female American tennis player who has won more Grand Slam titles than any other man or woman in the Open era. She continuously inspires people around the world, whether it's aspiring sports players, people struggling with racism, or anyone with any dream they have to stand up for.
So I've chosen to celebrate Marianne North, someone who you may not have heard of, but whose work still lives on today. Born in 1830, she spent her life travelling the world as far afield as Brazil and Australia in a time when that was not a straightforward thing to do at all, in order to paint the flora of the world, the plants. And her work was so accurate that it still has scientific value today. And in fact, you can see her work on display if you go to Kew Gardens. There's a whole gallery celebrating her work. But it's the fact she did that in a period where doing that was not a straightforward decision for a woman to make that means that she's an inspiring figure to me.
I want to celebrate Laura Kenny, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist for Great Britain cycling. The fact she's been able to maintain such a high level in her sport for so long is truly inspirational for everyone in sport, no matter what age, gender or ability.
I'm truly inspired by my cousin Sophia, who lives in Ukraine. Sophia is 7 and unfortunately suffers of cerebral palsy. At the moment, everyone in Ukraine is very sad and depressed due to the war, but she comforts everyone and says everything is going to be fine, and I wish I could see her soon.